2v2, Calderis Refinery, blue team. 2 Eldar players. First up is Cultured Boy as an Eldar Farseer support commander that fights in melee combat. Lots of great buffs with some debuffs and control abilities too. Alongside is Phoenix, plays an Eldar Warlock melee commander that leaps into combat. Lots of great disruption and mobility, can also tank damage pretty well. Some cool spell casting also. Up against on the red team is Nyriss, plays a plague champion, starts off range combat with this damage of a time bolter, can get melee weapons, some decent utility and support, can build turrets and repair, but is very slow. And rounding off the team's big booty white girls is a force commander, very good offense, can also tank, disrupt and support with buffs, fights in melee combats. Howling Banshees on the field for both of the Eldar players straight up. Banshees can struggle versus a plague champion, I feel, but he could also get rangers up, which are pretty bad news for a plague champion. He can struggle versus sniper infantry in tier 1, especially if they're doubled up against him. He can do some things if he jumps in raptors and then uses Touch of Nurgle well, but that's a very big if you have Touch of Nurgle even available. Farseer going after these Chaos Space Marines, who took 2 models off those Dire Avengers even though they were in heavy cover and had guide on them. Here comes the Heretics with a Doom Blast, instant special attack, though sends them flying, but she's still going after those CSM, trying to get a model. She's cutting this very close, she might go down here. That damage of a time plague bolter doing the business. Chaos Space Marines forcing melee combat very well. That's good play by Nyriss, trying to get this hero wipe in first engagements. There's a destructor from a Warlock coming in, but she does get away there, the Farseer, down to 5 hit points at one point, and the Heretics run away. Did that Doom Blast even hit the Banshees? I don't think it did. Now both Banshee squads are over here and Nyriss needs to run the heck away. You saw that leap into combat from the Warlock, knocking the Plague Champion backwards somehow. Cultured Boy going for some Rangers, so good choice from him. Nyriss going for Havocs, which might struggle with those Rangers taking pop shots, especially if it's double Rangers, which I think he should, but we'll see what he goes for. Good play from Big Booty, decapping that natural wreck point, taking mid and taking up his entirety of the side of the map, taking advantage of the fact that Phoenix came over to the west side to help out Cultured Boy, who needs to take his VP here. Dire Avengers need to get back behind cover. These blockade things here are actually heavy cover, so are all these pipes. There's the Shuriken Cannon suppressing that Tactical Marine squad. Warlock going after them as well, trying to get a model off, but he backs off now. Shotgun scouts are there waiting. He knew that the shotgun scouts were there, didn't want to get knocked back and suppressed and maybe even taken down. Tactical Marines might need to retreat, and they do, especially if the Rangers come up here. Havoc's forcing off the Banshees and Dire Avengers there though, so now he knows for sure that they're there. Rangers give you so many options, and here comes another squad from Cultured Boy. You can use them alongside your Banshees, set up the run with Kinetic Pulse. Especially if you have 2 Rangers, he could Kinetic Pulse the Havocs, then Kinetic Pulse this big blob of stuff here. Havoc suppressing the Shuriken. Big Booty Whitetail's trying to take advantage of that. Has double shotgun scouts, which I really like to see, but he retreated the wrong squad there, I think. Well, does retreat out both of the scouts anyway, and that was a premature retreat from Phoenix, retreating out his Banshees. Maybe that was a mistake. We have 3 Ranger squads on the field, 2 from Cultured Boy, 1 from Phoenix. This might be very, very annoying to deal with, and they're all getting Pathfinder gear, so they're certainly going to need to get some detectors up. Does Nyriss have an Aspiring Champion? He does, so that's a detector, and that will help him against those Banshees as well. He's got the Biosphere, also another bad weapon in terms of Banshee's point of view. Look at the damage it did there. You can also use that Bilious Discharge to completely slow them down. Needs to get close to use this thing, but it's also awesome at taking down structures such as these generators. As you see, they're almost taking down a generator in like 3 seconds. Farseer trying to time up. There's that Kinetic Pulse knocking down those Heretics, and a full retreat from Nyriss. I think I don't think he wanted to back off because of the Rangers, which have been taking shots as he backed away. I don't think he needed to retreat his Rangers there, but he did. Warlock coming mid to try and cap it. It's 4-5-3, 4-9-2 with a 1-to-1. Red team are taking a natural backload. Tactical Marines taking over to cap these guys with a 50% faster capping trait, and a very, very useful trait that is. The Scouts now infiltrated. These guys fully upgraded scouts with their elite training, and their shotguns, and their sergeant gives them a fragmentation grenade. 451, 492 now with the 1-to-1. Raptors on the field for Nyriss. Plague Champion does often rely on Raptors quite a lot for his compositions. He needs them to pressure those Rangers. We'll see if he can get some nice touch of Nurgle combos with them, which can work superbly well for you, especially against Eldar when you know those Banshees are going to swarm you. 451, 483 now with 2-to-1 for blue. But Big Booty goes tier 2 reasonably quickly as well, using his scouts to carry him through tier 1 at the moment. Here come Howling Banshees though, with their warshout suppressing both the tactical marines and the scouts, who try a nice grenade there, couldn't quite pull it off. Banshees had already turned the other direction when he threw it. They have the aspect of strength. The scouts getting caught there. Here comes the other scout squad with a shotgun blast, maybe? No. Very, very late shotgun blast, which only knocked down a couple of models. Now the Force Commander using, he's actually got the Chainsword and Storm Shield, using special attacks to try and disrupt the Banshees, who get away without a model loss. As a good push by Phoenix. But let's look at the west side. Nyriss has taken down the Farseer. Is now going to set up shop with Havocs, which are doing pretty well so far, considering he's up against double ranges. You can quickly put pressure on them with these Raptors. 451, 441. There goes one model though. One volley from the Rangers. But look at this, he's wiping generators at this time, which gives the Plague Champion a bunch of XP. Banshees getting too close to the Havocs and now suppressed. There's the jump from the Raptors, but now they're going to be under serious pressure. And since they have a 65 energy jump, they cannot jump away. You need to retreat out, but he did well there, got them away without a model loss. And how's he doing for red? He actually does have enough for a touch of noble use. Going on east side though, Force Commander with his teleporter to get in amongst the Guardian Weapon team quickly, can also use it to get on top of those Rangers quickly, who infiltrate themselves and back the hell away. Tactical Marines also pushing a Warlock, chasing those guys down. No sign of the Merciless Switchblade at this point. A decent choice, I think. There was no Assault Marines, and he wanted his power to get his 1-1-1 build going. Exarch on the way for the Banshees. What has Cultured Boy gone for? He's also gone for the aspect of strength. The Plague Champion eventually forced off. He should be getting fetid armor, I think, to help him against those Banshees when they go after him like that. Sometimes it's just too late to try and use your bilious discharge, especially against Banshees, which are onto you in a flash. Razorback on the way for Big Booty. Nyriss going for a Chaos Dreadnought. No sign of any tier 2 units for the Eldar players yet. Maybe some Dark Reapers. Here comes the Warlock to try and revive the Farseer. Will easily be able to, and that will level him to level 2. Farseer still level 1. What about the other guys? Plague Champion almost level 3 with all that power bashing he's done. And the Force Commander also halfway through level 1 or so. Double Rangers scouting ahead. They have very good keen sight radius. Some of the highest in the game, I believe. 411, 428. Not that there's anything infiltrating on Nyriss's army at the moment. Scouts in retreat for White Girls. The other squad must be inside this. Razorback has that twin-linked heavy bolter on top, but it does reasonable damage to infantry, chasing down his Rangers, as you can see. Needs to be careful though. Banshees there with their aspect of strength, but they retreat out. I suppose they did not know what was inside this thing. 411, 411 is evened up on DPs. 2-to-1 for red. There's touch of Nurgle on the Raptors, indeed it is. It didn't lose a model though, so that could be a bit of a waste. So I suppose it did persuade Culture Boy to run the heck away. Rangers getting away was pretty lucky to do so. And another very strong push by Nyriss, and he's going to take this VP and he's going to bash some more power. Cultured Boy under pressure a lot here. Maybe he'll get a Wraith Lord with Right Lance and start smacking faces. Does have a lot of resources here. Warp Spiders on the way to Phoenix. That could be another reasonable choice, I think, for Cultured Boy. Get some haywire grenade action on that Dreadnought, and then send his Banshees in using the Warp Spiders to harass everything else. Wipes out those heretics. That was a good play. Got the Ice Baron Champion down. They just pushed forward a little bit too much, trying to bash power there. I generally try to avoid bashing power with the melee heretics. Just use their support to worship your power bash, but keep them hanged back because they can go down so quickly if you get caught overextended. 365, 393, triple cap for red team. Now Eldar under serious pressure ever since tier 2 hit, and we have a dreadnought now for Big Booty. Wraith Lord does hit the field for Cultured Boy. Straight away getting a Bright Lance, a shoulder mounted Bright Lance, which will be able to fire on the move with very good accuracy. Has that massive Ghost Glaive sword and a wrist mounted Shuriken catapult as well. Very strong walker all in all. Can even get a self heal in tier 3. And here are those warp spiders for Phoenix. These guys teleport around shooting the crap out of stuff and throwing these haywire grenades, which completely shut down a vehicle. Well, it can still move slightly, but won't be able to fire weapons or attack in melee combat. And we'll see. Blue team could turn this around very quickly if they take down both dreadnoughts. They do have a Bright Lance. Guardian Weapon team, a Bright Lance, Wraith Lord, and that haywire, and 2 aspect of strength Banshee. So this could be done here. Would be a very good engagement if they could. Rangers taking mid, are they? Yes. Havoc's under pressure from the Rangers as we expected. Nyriss, is he going to try and flank around? No, he's going to hit him head on. Jumps in the Raptors very, very early there. And immediately pulls them out. Just wanted to see what was going on. I don't think the Heretics want to run towards that Wraith Lord. That was a poorly managed engagement for Nyriss. Doom blasted thin air and then retreated out 2 squads, and Raptors continue to be chased, and now this Dreadnought being chased. Banshee's turning onto the Plague Champion. Nyriss was basically against 2 players there, but should not have jumped in blindly. I mean, you can usually jump your Assault Marines in blindly because you can jump out again very, very quickly, but with Raptors it's very risky to do so. Assault Cannon up on a Dreadnought, lots of single target damage to infantry, piercing damage, so it will be really hurting light infantry, and down goes that Ranger squad. That was Phoenix's squad. 302, 373. Missile launch attack. Marines going to get warp throwed into Banshee attacks. Ouch. Going to lose 2 models, is he? No, only lost 1 model. Now backs his Banshees away. Maybe a Falcon would help out blue team quite a lot here. Phoenix could get one soon, but he might just go tier 3. Here are those Raptors. They have their aspiring champion. You see him there on the right side with his lightning claw and plasma pistol. Upcoming update is going to get a melter pistol and a power fist, which is going to be awesome. Which made of Kernus, giving the Warlock that grenade icon, because the Ethereal Slash is an air effect ability which disrupts some stuff. Marcozinch Dreadnought. Still think the Eldar have the advantage here because he can send those Banshees in to tie this guy up. I suppose the Raptors could also tie up the Wraith Lord, but it's a massive risk with those Banshees around. And look at the damage this Dreadnought's taking already from the Bright Lances. 302, 328. Havoc's now suppressing the blob. Rangers need to take shots at them. Where are they? One's in retreat and one's coming. Booty White Girls taking down the Web Brigade and taking back his VP, surely. Yes, there we go. Nyriss not wanting to engage. What is this Force Commander doing? Trying to get close to that Wraith Lord, but gets shot to pieces. Has armor of electric, but he's still level 1. And here's the push from Nyriss, jumping in his Raptors, using Touch of Nurgle, and gets a good explosion there. I was going to say he used it too soon, but because of that grenade, he actually used it at just the right time to get a nice explosion and forces off an entire backline army almost with those Touch of Nurgle Raptors. That is what they can do for you, but he needs to get them out of there. He's keeping them in way too long. I usually don't try and push my luck beyond 2 explosions from Raptors, maybe even just 1 depending on what's around, but it does look like he's going to get away or tuck in retreat path, but does not engage. Wraith Lord now engaging the Space Marine Dreadnought. Nyriss actually did lose a lot of his backline stuff while I was excitedly watching those Touch of Nurgle Raptors there. He lost his Dreadnought, lost his Havocs, he lost a hell of a lot. There's the haywire on the Dreadnought, which is now getting repairs. We have sniper scouts here and double repairs up on the Dreadnought. 302, 269. So a painful engagement for Nyriss, even more so than it was for Cultured Boy, who actually retreated everything out in good time, faced with that touch of Nurgle Raptor squad. So blue team ahead from that engagement, but Nyriss is in tier 3 and now has a lot of wreck income, having lost half of his army. Scouts coming over to cap the west side though. 293, 269, 221 cap for the red team, and big booby to white girls going tier 3 also. Force Miner still level 1. Wartuck jumping in has her Executioner Spear, which is actually a power melee weapon, unlike the Banshee's Executioner Spear. Razorback forcing her off though, puts up her Force Shield, and that Wraithlord is still marching around. Used it quite defensively there, which is a good way to use a Wraithlord, I think. Use its ranged weapon to pepper stuff from range, and then just counter initiate. No reason to run in with your Ghost Glaive if you don't need to. 273, 269, there's the 1-to-1 cap. Force Miner goes straight after the Wraithlord, uses his Battle Cry, which won't inspire the Dreadnought. There's the haywire. Does he have anything to follow it up though? Not really. Bright Lance unable to shit up in time, now gets jumped, and Raptors almost wiping it out, but they're going after the Howling Banshees here. Touch of Nurgle on the Heretics. This could be really bad for the Banshees, but looks like it does retreat just in time to not get hit by another Touch of Nurgle explosion right in his face there. And there's the Rune Armor. Psychic Storm, of awesome ability, but they completely missed it. 273, 265, 2-to-1 cap for the blue team. Banshees now going after those Raptors again. These Raptors actually done really well in this game. They're not even level 2 yet, but they've done really well. Banshees forcing off those, forced off by the aspiring champions. Down to 8 models. Great unclean one on the way for Nyriss. And it's a massive running battle in mid. Grenade dodged nicely, but I don't think he wants to push in here. What's he doing? Trying to get a Ranger model and a full retreat, really, from Cultured Boy. That was very premature, I think. He even had a Wraithlord there. He's still full retreated. 5 prisms up though from Phoenix, and tier 3 now from Cultured Boy. Great and clean one's over halfway done. Predator tank on the way for Big Booty. 261, 255, 2-to-1 cap for red. They have their natural and they have the mid. Absolutely no power harass on the red team stuff that I've seen. We've seen a bunch over here from a Plague Champion, but it's all been rebuilt. No, it hasn't. We have one generator here not built. Predator tank hits the field momentarily. Ground clean one not far away, and I imagine red team will push at that stage quite hard. If that's a las cannon Predator, that fire prism will need to be very careful. Immediately goes for extra armor. We do have Spirit Stones up from the Farseer. You just saw the Spiritual Rites. 241, 255. Warlock is left to cap mid, and a bit of a lull in the action as players get together with their tier 3 stuff. And here's the Great Unclean One. Super unit for Chaos. Huge amounts of hit points, as you can see. Super heavy infantry armor, and has some very nasty abilities. Passively damages nearby enemies also, and since it's a greater demon, benefits greatly from worship. And we do see this new Heritage squad that Nyriss got. 241, 246. Blue team are lined up though. Bright Lance immediately starting to get shots on the Great Unclean One. Nyriss is pushing here. He should wait for Big Booty, surely. He's just going in here. And there's the haywire on the Great Unclean One. Now he can't attack, and he moves very slowly. Massive engagement. Raptors hit by a very nice ethereal slash, and Wraithlord just shooting from range with his Bright Lance. Raptors forced off. In fact, they're going to go down. Yes, they do. Ouch. That ethereal slash really screwed them over. But there's Touch of Nurgle on the Heretics, and there we go. Touch of Nurgle is so good in big engagements. He needs to start. He must have used Kinetic Shock already on those Rangers. There's Cloud of Flies also from a Great Unclean One. Look at Nurgle spreading his gift to everything here. Are those Banshees going to get away? They're infected. Auto drop on the VP, just trying to stop that cap, almost wiping those scouts as well. Great Unclean One getting to work here. Fire Prism hanging back, getting shots. I don't think that Wraith Lord wants to be that close. Great Unclean One doesn't do a huge amount of DPS actually. It's a kind of comparative to Walkers. I think it's around, I think it's slightly less, around 80 maybe heavy melee DPS. Another Wraith Lord has 85 heavy melee DPS. These Dreadnoughts with a ranged weapon would have 73 heavy melee DPS. The Great Unclean One, of course, does have huge amounts of hit points, but that was a really good push from Red Team, led by this Great Unclean One. 2-for-1, 2-2. That was some slow motion there, if anyone was wondering. Some people seem to get confused and think that this is the frame rate just tanking. Wraith Lord goes down. That's kind of shot to the face from the Predator tank, and Great Unclean One makes it out. An awesome push by this big fella. 2-for-1, 2-2. Chaos Predator now trying to chase down this Fire Prism Avatar of Cain on the way for Phoenix. We'll see how that goes. But I'm surprised we haven't seen any Dark Reapers, especially now that the Great Unclean One's around. All that plasma, all that Inferno damage, I should say, sorry, will do a massive job on that Great Unclean One. There's an Orbital. Fire Prism does want to back into it. Warp Spiders get caught. What is this Fire Prism doing? He needs to get away. Predator tank needs to shoot it. There we go, bang. 2-for-1, 2-2, that was very odd. Now the Dreadnought backs away, level 2, he's done quite well with this thing. Didn't see a barrage there, but I'm sure he used it. Avatar is on the field, super unit for Eldar. This thing passively buffs nearby enemies, which is kind of the polar opposite of the Great Unclean One, which passively damages nearby enemies. Sorry, passively buffs nearby allies. Did I say that? 237, 2-2. Who knows what I said? Red Team now putting pressure on this VP. You see the area of effect buff from the Autark as well. You can really stack those AoE buffs of Eldar. Autark, the Seer Council and the Avatar, all with those passive buffs. Another touch of Nuggle use on the Heretics. He's got no red to do anything else. 2-2, 2-2. 2-2 on cap though for Red Team. Autark is knocked back by that touch of Nuggle explosion. You really need a lot of DPS to take down the Heretics when touch of Nuggle is up. The explosion won't go off more than once every 3 seconds. So if you can shoot them down within those 3 seconds, they will just wipe without the explosion going off. Here comes the Avatar. There's a Wailing Doom immediately, trying to get those Stone Guard veterans and can't quite manage it. But they did lose 2 models there. Reinforcing off the Razorback though. 197, 2-2. See all these blue buff circles from the Avatar. When you can get level 4 Banshees with multiple buffs stacked on them, they get very, very painful. These are level 3 Banshees. Warlock coming mid, lots and lots of bodies here. 186, 2-2. Phoenix with a lot of resources, and he can use an Eldritch reasonably soon. What is he going to get? Some Dark Creepers. They still need to deal with this Great Unclean One. 180, 2-2. He's going for another Fire Prism. In fact, not a good choice in my opinion because of this Las Cannon Predator, and this guy's got Mark of Pawn. Also, tanks can counter the Fire Prism quite hard if you can get them close enough to shoot it, of course. I think Warp Spiders need to focus their haywire on that Predator tank to try and keep it away from the Fire Prism. We have Time Field up for the Farseer, Armor of the Assyrian. Really good piece of armor. Time Field is awesome late game. Just shuts down everything from range. 180, 218. Rangers getting shots on the Heretics, taking out a couple of models. Bloodletters on the way for Nyriss late game. Assault Marines late game for Big Booty as well. Want some disruption to throw in there, I guess. D cannon is up. That's bad news for Red Team. 180, 209. The cannon taking out 2 scouts immediately, and here's the push. Nyriss is happy to push in here. This is a mistake, I think. What is he doing? Big Booty is nowhere to be seen. And that's a sentence I didn't think I'd say today. Cloud of Flies goes off, but the Great Unclean One taking tons of damage here. Avatar's wailing on him. Avatar does around 200 damage per hit, but he does attack very slowly. 180, 193, Power Fist Force Commander with the Sacred Standard. Yeah, Great Unclean One might go down here. There's no worship support. Where are his heretics? They are not worshipping. They are reinforcing though. How are they reinforcing? Oh, the Razorback was close enough. Great Unclean One, I think, is going to go down. But he might cause havoc with his death explosion here. A Silver is jumping in and making a difference for Big Booty White Girls. 180, 178. Great Unclean One does go down after a very long death animation. In fact, look at this. We get a sync kill. Avatar buries its massive sword into his chest and just pushes him away because he stinks. And he's going to explode. There we go. 180, 173. That damages nearby enemies and heals nearby allies, that explosion. But there's nothing around to be affected. I don't think the Avatar will take a lot of damage from it. I wonder what damage type that explosion is. It might be heavy melee or something, because I've seen it do just heinous things. Insane amounts of damage. Chaos Predator lives. The Las Cannon Predator lives. That was a really fun engagement to see. Red team taking the mid. Bloodletter's going to harass this west side. A really good choice of unit to harass a VP of Bloodletters. They're a really good solo unit because of their warp shift out of danger maneuver, which makes them so powerful because you can worship these guys, of course, for massive benefits. There is the warp shift. They receive no damage but cannot cap or attack or do anything else apart from move. Stone Guard veterans with their Hellfire rounds loaded in, doing damage of a time to that light infantry there. Rangers with a nice kinetic pulse. Nothing really to set it up and finish off that kinetic pulse though. There's the Wailing Doom, which does knock down retreating units, as you can see. Can't believe this Razorback still lives. 145, 173. Done really well for red team now. Look at these Bloodletters. Gonna wipe this D cannon. Yes, they do. Now get them out of there. Job well done. Getting them a bunch of XP there. 145, 171. Avatar coming over to the east side, and the Warlock takes it with Providence up. He now has the Angry Space Elf build. He has Warp Throw, Providence, and a Witchblade of Kernus. 145, 163. Avatar well into enemy territory here. It needs to back the hell away. Warlock actually did go down to that Assault Cannon Dreadnought, I believe, in retreat. Mid is uncapped. Heretic trying to push. Plague Champion level 5. He's done well, but you might want to switch to a Plague Fist, Pestilence. I could have Nurgle build to help him cap and stuff. He does have the resources. He's got so much resources here, Nyriss. He wants one of the Great Unclean One, doesn't he? Razorback needs repairs badly. Plague Champion can repair, but he's repairing his Chaos Predator right now. We have Dire Avengers not actually using their shield correctly. They're facing the wrong way. And a push from Big Booty White Girls. Nyriss can't really help him out. 145, 109. Assault Cannon Barrage on the right lance, almost wiping it out. Very lucky still to have 4 models there. Wailing Doom hits the Dreadnought a little bit, but didn't really hit anything else. Dreadnought now being tied up by the Avatar. Las Cannon Predator getting shots in though, but why is it moving forward? Stay at your maximum range. Dreadnought might go down. In fact, I think he will. Yeah, one more swing. Smack. Down it goes. Avatar needs to back away though. There's a Power Fist Force Commander. This could be a dead Avatar. In fact, I think it will be. Smack. Down it goes. 145, 102. Might not have been able to get away. Even if he did back off immediately, the Las Cannon Predator could have just chased him down. There's the time field. And there's an Eldritch, I believe. That's going to wipe that tank. Yes. Well played. And Phoenix has enough for his own Eldritch. He's actually gone for a Seer Council here. Power melee squad that leap into combat, passively buffing nearby allies, but there's touch of Noble Heretics in your face. You better run the hell away, Seer Council. There's another Eldritch on that tank. Can it finish it off? Couldn't quite get it in the right place to do so. But a Bright Lance is setting up to hit it on rear armor. Is it? Why is it shooting over there? Oh no, is this thing might be a shot blocker. Bloodletters are chasing it down and they take it down. That was really, really unlucky. That was really unlucky for Phoenix. 125102. That could be a game-changing little passage of play there. There's the second Great Unclean One from Nyriss. I don't think I saw him use his foul snare, which is where he throws his intestines out. There we go, there it is. And it stuns, which is important, and throws stuff around. So they can't just start using abilities and heal themselves and stuff. 110, 102. Hellfire rounds now damaging the Autarch since she has Commander armor. Those Hellfire rounds doing a lot of damage to her. Power Fist, can I get one hit? Nope. 102, 102. It's evened up with a 2-to-1 for red team. It's very close. Lots and lots of back and forth here. You have two D cannons from Cultured Boy. And not only are they awesome artillery pieces in their own right, they also have the Singularity, which is an amazing ability, and that's why they're tier 3, I guess. Look at this range they have. 89, 102. Blue team have their natural lockdown, it looks like. Red team have their natural under pressure from this Warlock. He's level 6. He's going to at least decap it here, I think. Vanguard veterans on the field for Big Booty. These guys now have 1800 hit points at level 1 since a few patches ago, which makes them pretty damn scary. A game I played yesterday, in fact, Max Power sent his Vanguard veterans into my Chaos Terminators and they got absolutely owned by the Vanguard veterans. Without their lightning claws, of course, but still really put a lot of pressure onto them. 81, 93, a single cap for the blue team, but can they hold it? These Bloodletters doing a superb job for Nyriss, sneaking in and taking out squads left and right, but now they're under pressure. Need to phase out or warp shift out and back away. There we go, down to 2 models, but they should be able to retreat out quite easily. Great Unclean One is taking a lot of damage here and he's pushing against the whole army by himself. That's not what you want to do with that big fella. Here are some heretics, but he's not used any worship to support him at all. He's used his heretics in combat all the time. In fact, I don't think I've seen him use worship once. Oh, he did use it at the beginning of the game down here, but since like tier 2 I don't think I've noticed him use it. And they retreated there. He didn't get a Nurgle Shrine either. Nurgle Shrines are awesome. They give you so much field presence. And here comes some Terminators. Surely he should be getting a Nurgle Shrine here. Can support those Terminators in the field with reinforcement and all the rest of his stuff. Not to mention Big Booty stuff. Let's say dead Farseer. No, it isn't. Those Terminators didn't smack her in the face with their Power Fists. 67, 87. It's so close. 1-to-1 cap. Can red team get their natural back and hold on here? This Warlock doing a superb job capping this thing, or trying to. There's the Ethereal Slash, and Providence is up, so you can use it over and over again. Don't try and cap, it's not worth it. There's another Ethereal Slash. He might finish his cap, in fact. There's the knockback though from the Power Fist. He still might finish his cap with Ethereal Slash spam, but he is forced off. 67, 84. He held them up a lot at least. Blue team now can cap mid for the 2-to-1. Phoenix, his seer counts are coming out of base. These guys can level up. They get up to, I think it's 3,800 hit points at level 4, which is pretty nuts. Fire Prism needs repairs. 2-to-1 cap for blue team now. Here's another avatar, this one for Cultured Boy. And the first one was, wasn't it? I think so. What's this first one doing? It's going to die. But there's an orbital who's getting line of sight for the orbital. That's what it was doing. And that's very nicely hit one of the beams, but the others are kind of wasted. Is it going to wipe this Star Avenger squad? The level 4, wow, wipe them pretty a lot. 67, 8, 58 even. 2-to-1 still for the Eldar team. And Warp Spider's used a decap over here. They have put a lot of pressure on this VP, but here's the pressure on blue team's natural now by Nyriss. Has his entire army here and has Lightning Claw Chaos Terminators, taking them up to 4,500 hit points with a terrifying amount of splash damage, power melee. He has Lightning Claw Terminators and the Great Unclean One. There's the Wailing Doom. but the Avatar does not want to fight Lightning Claw Terminators. They will rip it to shreds. But there's an Eldritch on the VP, wipes out that CSM squad, and that's what the Eldritch does. If you get something caught right in the middle of it, it's like an instant wipe. 67-38. City Councilor there, but they're taking so much damage from this Great Unclean One. Cloud of Flies and the passive damage. They were just a bad choice, I think, in general, against a Nurgle opponent. City Council can struggle. Yeah, we have Heretics actually worshipping now. But the Wraithlord might come and finish off this Great Unclean One. Avatar's there also. D-Cannon's getting shots in, and the Farseer with the Doombringer now is taking her natural back. Down goes the Great Unclean One. There's that really long death animation. Laughs a bit because he's happy all the time. And he explodes, but nothing around it is going to be affected. Is that an Eldritch or a Warp Throw? It's just a Warp Throw. 56-38. Warlock is going to go down, smacked in the face by Vanguard veterans who have kept hold of their Thunderhammer, which has done well for them. Buffed, of course, by this Force Commander because of that Sacred Standard, that constant 25% damage buff, which goes up to 40% if the Force Commander goes down in battle. There's a Waning Doom. Flesh over Steel on the Wraithlord, but it lives. Banshee's forcing him off as well. 54-38, 2-1 cap for blue team. They have their natural back. Can they hold mid? I think they should just back away and hold mid. Maybe send the Warlock over to the east side to pressure. What is this Fire Prism doing? Has nothing to repair it, so it's just sitting back there. Lightning Claw, Chaos Terminator is forcing off a bunch of Eldar stuff. Now they turn to engage the Avatar. Both of them low on health. Down goes the Wraithlord. There's the Wrath of Cain. And Chaos Terminator is getting bullied here. Getting ganged up on by a bunch of Eldar stuff. And down they go. But down goes the Avatar as well. 54-14. It's so close. Can those Heretics decap? And look at this as well. What is this? The Plague Champion, yes, decapping, and in fact now capping the west side. You need to keep your field presence at this stage in the game. You really need to try and stay on the field. This is how you lose team games and 2v2s, when everything's off the field and you concede those double and triple caps. Because you can't contest the caps. Vanguard veterans are going to wipe out this Farseer, trying to be sneaky. Red team have the double here, 41-10. The Noxious Cloud, I should say, is not going to deter the Autarch, doesn't do enough damage. Single entities. Chaos Heretics, level 4, run away, capping mid. Whoa. Was that Warp Spiders? Getting thrown into the air. 24-10. And this drop pod is actually allowing things to reinforce around it. Distortion field on the Banshees as they run away. Vanguard veterans have done so good. Level 2 now. 21-9. Single cap for blue. But I'm not sure if they can hold this. Or can they? What's this? It's the Autarch capping red team's natural, and it's the double cap, and they're going to win now. Wow. Look how static they were in the mid at the end. Big Booty not paying attention to his natural. And sneaky Eldar, they constantly put sneaky pressure on this VP. And that seems to have won in the game in the end. Really nice back and forth. Absolute chaos in the mid. Great and clean ones all over the place. Avatars, Sea Councils, Terminators. Awesome, awesome stuff. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. And I'll see you next time.